We welcome Candice Bland, who is a Spanish teacher at Hightstown High School. Good to see you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You do an amazing thing. You take your students to Spain?
Yes.
Where in Spain?
To Granada, to the south of Spain, Andalusia.
Who are these students?
They are my students in levels Spanish 3, 4 honors, and AP, or dual enrollment, who want to enrich their Spanish language skills and extend the school year, because it happens after the school year in the summertime. And I start promoting it come June for the following July, and they just start signing up. So it's been happening for about 6 years now.
It's a beautiful thing, and we're gonna, instead of just talking about it right now, Candice, we're gonna show a video from the Classroom Close-Up series produced by our friends at the New Jersey Education Association, Candice Bland, and her students going to Spain.
¿Alguien más puede decirme otra cosa interesante que te pasó en España?
My name is Candice Bland. I am a high school Spanish teacher here at Hightstown High School. During my graduate degree at University of Delaware, I won the fellowship to go to the University of Granada as a professor for a year. I really just remained friends with all of my colleagues in the University of Granada. And about 6 years into my teaching career, they started sending me emails like, Candice, why don't you bring some students over? And finally, in the year 2010, I decided to take them up on their offer. When we get to Granada, we pull up, to the plaza. All the families are standing there waiting. So they get off the bus, they have the pictures of the kids. They're like, oh, you're mine, you're mine, you're mine. And they go home, they get showered, they have their first dinner with their family. And then the next morning, it's time to go to coursework.
Entonces, en español, ¿quién quiere decirme la vida con la familia?
Sí, la cosa que me gusta más es la sobremesa. Y la sobremesa se trata de una conversación que se tiene después de la cena normalmente. Y se come la cena a las 10 de la noche. Y hasta la medianoche, están discutiendo cosas de todo, de la vida personal, de la política, de la vida contemporánea. Es muy interesante.
They were studying enriched classes, immersion classes in the morning, and in the afternoons doing cultural excursions.
It really is a life-changing experience, and for me that happened when I was 15 with a similar program. To have the opportunity to do this in high school, I mean, it opens up your eyes to a world that is just so amazing. I mean, traveling really broadens your perspective on life.
Matt, what was one of your favorite excursions that you went on?
It really opened my eyes, because this is a whole nother culture, a whole nother way of expressing yourself, a whole nother art form, and I got to experience that firsthand.
I want them to be more of a global citizen. And I want them to understand the importance of being bilingual. It is so important for us, especially to speak Spanish, especially in New Jersey. We have a huge need for bilingual professionals in all walks of life.
Conocimiento.
Vale.
No pasa nada en Granada.
Hola, chicos.
Riquísima.
Muy bueno.
Extraña.
Vete a Granada.
Bonita.
Pásatelo bien.
Tapas. Muy divertida.
Es fantástico.
Muy chulo.
Global citizens. What do you mean?
I just find that a lot of times I meet students who do not have the impudence to leave New Jersey and don't want to see what's out there beyond their doorsteps. And I feel it's part of me as being an educator to want to make them lifelong learners, as giving them that travel bug. And if they're interested and trust me enough, I'll take them with me anywhere. Because it's a huge trust factor. And they have to want to be with me for 20 days. All of a sudden I go from having one child of my own biologically to having sometimes 35 students I've brought with me. And it's a lot. It's a huge responsibility, both for me and it's a huge risk for them. They don't know how they're going to react to a new culture or live with another family, shower in another bathroom, eat food that they're not ever used to eating or thought they would never ever try.
Right.
So I like to show them that they can and will survive and come back completely changed, and their view of life is just more worldly, and they're able to go out into the world. I feel like I'm prepping them to be an adult, whether they're going to go to college or go into some sort of trade, that they have the confidence in themselves and believe in themselves. That I traveled. I went on my own. I dealt with my own passport. I dealt with my own finances. I dealt with a language barrier.
That's
and
second
I
language.
survived.
I'm sorry for interrupting. Being bilingual, why does it mean so much?
Bilingual brains are beautiful brains, and they see double meaning in everything in life. And as that's one of the motivations for a lot of my lessons when I teach. So the idea that I can bring them abroad and show them how amazing and fulfilling it feels to be able to communicate to another person in their language, not just a language they understand. If you talk to a man, there's a quote by Nelson Mandela, if you talk to a man in a language that he understands, it goes to his head. If you talk to a man in a language that they speak, it goes to their heart. And I love that quote, and I like to see that happen with my students right in front of my eyes, not having to force them, like it would be a forced, non-organic situation in my classroom. And to see them use organic language, it's amazing, it's so fulfilling.
How much you love what you do?
I am enamored by what I do, and it motivates me every day to go to work and show kids that speaking another language is assuming another trait in their personality, because you have to put on a show and know how to assume that character, not just speaking it in a linguistic fashion, but also a social fashion, and knowing the cultural cues. And I loved traveling to Spain. It changed my life. I did a very similar program, and I'm still best of friends with the people I lived with when I was there. And it makes me feel like I accept people more, you know?
You're changing young people's lives,
Yeah.
potentially for the rest of their lives. Candice Bland, who is a Spanish teacher at Hightstown High School. Thank you for joining us.
Thank
We
you so much
appreciate
for
it.
having me.
Well
I
done.
appreciate it.
The preceding program has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 25 years of broadcast excellence, and 13 for WNET, NJTV, and WHYY. Funding for this edition of Caucus New Jersey has been provided by the New Jersey Education Association, Wells Fargo, Qualcare Inc., Berkeley College, the New Jersey Office of the Insurance Fraud Prosecutor, Gary's Wine and Marketplace, and by the Community Food Bank of New Jersey. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area. Caucus New Jersey has been produced in partnership with TriStar Studios.